a 30-year-old midfielder from Madrid.
Not the fastest player on the field, not the flashiest, but the man who, according to FIFA,
Was the best player at the entire World Cup, beating Lionel Messi to the golden ball. This is the story of Rodri, a player who was once told he wasn't good enough, who nearly lost everything to one injury, and who just completed one of the most remarkable comebacks in modern football. Rodrigo Hernández Cascante was born in Madrid on June 22nd, 1996, like thousands of Spanish kids. His childhood revolved around two things: football and school.
he played in local parks with friends before joining a nearby youth club, Rayo Majadahonda, at just 11 years old. His talent caught the eye of one of Spain's most prestigious academies, Atlético Madrid. It looked like the beginning of a dream. But as a teenager, Rodri was seen as physically behind his peers.
He wasn't the standout. He wasn't guaranteed a future at the club. In 2013, after years in Atletico's system, Rodri was let go. No fairy tale start.
Just a 17-year-old with a decision to make: give up or find another way in. He chose Villarreal.
At Villarreal, Rodri didn't just chase football. He studied business.
Administration at university at the same time. That same discipline showed on the pitch.
In December 2015, he made his senior debut in the Copa del Rey. Within months, he'd become a starter, controlling games with a maturity that belied his age. Scouts around, Europe started to notice a defensive midfielder who never seemed to panic,
who always found the simple, correct pass.
By 2018, the club that once released him came calling again. Rodri returned to Atlético Madrid in 2018.
Rodri's return to Atlético Madrid couldn't have started any better. Just weeks into the season, he helped Diego Simeone's side defeat city rivals, Real Madrid 4-2 after extra.
Time to win the UEFA Super Cup. It was the first major trophy of his senior career, and the perfect beginning to his only season back at his boyhood club. Throughout the campaign, Rodri established himself as one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe. His calmness under pressure, exceptional passing range, and tactical intelligence made him a key player in Simeone's system. He finished the season with 47 appearances and 3 goals in all competitions,
helping Atlético Madrid secure second place in La Liga. His performances did not go unnoticed.
Europe's biggest clubs were watching, but one team moved faster than the rest. In the summer of 2019, Manchester City activated Rodri's $70 million release clause, making him the club's record signing at the time, and Pep Guardiola built his midfield around him. Under Guardiola, Rodri transformed from a promising defensive
midfielder into the metronome of one of the greatest club sides in history.
Premier League titles piled up.
But the peak was still ahead. In 2023, Rodri scored the only goal in the Champions League final, completing an historic treble for Manchester City. A year later, at Euro 2024, he was the engine behind Spain's championship run and was named Player of the Tournament. Months after that, he received football's most prestigious individual prize, the Ballon d'Or.
By the end of 2024,
Rodri wasn't just one of the best midfielders in the world. Many considered him the best player, full stop. Then everything nearly fell apart. Early in the 2024-25 season,
Rodri suffered a serious knee ligament injury, the kind that ends seasons and, for some, threatens careers. He faced a long, difficult recovery, with setbacks along the way.
For a player who had just reached the very top of the sport,
it was a brutal reminder of how fragile it all could be.
Rodri spent months rebuilding, physically and mentally.
Instead of collecting trophies, he was doing rehab.
Instead of playing finals, he was watching from the sidelines,
wondering if he'd ever return to that level again. By 2026, Rodri was back and gradually returning to his Ballon d'Or winning form. Spain named him captain for the World Cup in the United States.
Across the tournament, he barely left the pitch, playing more than 700 minutes and starting every single match, including the final.
Spain's defense was suffocating.
conceding only 1 goal in 8 games. And Rodri was at the heart of it, dictating tempo, breaking up attacks, and starting move after move. In the final against Argentina, Spain won 1-0 after extra time. Rodri lifted the World Cup for Spain, their second ever. And then came the individual honor that capped it all. The Golden Ball, awarded to the tournament's best player. He beat Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe to it. Combined with his Champions League title, his Euro 2024 win, and his Ballon d'Or, it placed him among the most decorated footballers of his generation. And arguably the most complete midfielder of his era. From a teenager released by his boyhood club, to a player written off as physically undersized, to a knee injury that threatened to end it all. Rodri's story isn't about flashy skill or highlight reel moments. It's about persistence, about someone who never needed to be the loudest player on the pitch to become the most important one. Rodri didn't just win the World Cup. He proved that being released, being injured, being overlooked, none of it has to be the end of the story. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future football stories. Let me know in the comments which player you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.